Hey guys, the White Foot Soldier here. Today I have something very special for you. It's the First Gokin NT-01 Cerebral. Now we know that that's not cerebral, that is indeed Krang on the front. And the reason this figure is called Cerebral is because it was made in China and it is an unlicensed product. But don't let that word unlicensed scare you, at least for this particular figure, because he's absolutely amazing. This figure has become pretty much my all-time favorite figure, especially in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles line. Nothing really can compare to this guy. I believe they were $150 when they first came out. I was able to pick one up for right around that same price now, and I wish I had picked it up right when they came out because it's so worth it, and I missed out on some time with this guy. So don't let the price point scare you, as you'll see in a minute here why. So the front of the box there has the Cerebral or Krang artwork, and in the top right hand corner, let me zoom in a little bit, I'll just bring him closer actually, you'll see it says ages 15 plus, and it says this is not a toy, only for collection. Now this is pretty much an adult collector's toy, and you'll see in a minute. The articulation, everything's great on it, but it would be something you probably wouldn't want to give to a kid just because it looks so amazing displayed. And you know, I'm not worried about if there are any problems with it, which there aren't, but if there would be, it doesn't really bother me even if there were loose joints or anything, because I'm just going to display this guy. So for any adult collector, this is a must-have. So if we turn it on the side, get another view of Krang's, a little bit of artwork, Cerebral NT-01, the First Gokin. On this side, nothing really too fancy or anything, so we'll just skip around. And on the back, we get our first glimpse of this figure. So we can see kind of all the features. It just shows some different poses and some things you can do. So let's crack this guy open and give you guys a look. So this sleeve kind of just lifts right up off of the box. We'll set that to the side. So again, Cerebral NT-01. Some cool Krang artwork and his android body on the front. And then this box, I'll just show you on the side, it slides off this way. So we just slide it. Don't want it to fall out or anything. Slide that out. And we actually get a couple pamphlets in there. And the first one, if you turn it over in the back, it gives some details about this figure. So just some working points and whatnot. This is just, I think, a First Gokin, just a little pamphlet just telling you, hey, you got the Cerebral NT-01. This is a little foam to protect the figure while it's in there. Obviously he's not going to be in here for long because I can't wait to keep him out permanently. You open it up, and there he is, Krang. So we get the android body, the Krang brain, and this is a little bit hard to see, but that is actually the little, pop it out, little shield that goes over Krang whenever he's in the android body. So let's pop out Krang first. And this guy is really good. I mean, really well made. And trying to get a view of his eyes there. A little hard to see, but his eyes are indeed blue, and they have the black pupils on them as well. We get articulation in the tentacles for each side. And this guy, his tentacle's a little loose on this side, and it does pop out, but that really doesn't bother me because I, once again, am an adult collector, and I'll just be displaying this figure, and so I won't really, you know, and it doesn't affect it. It's not like it's super loose to where you can't even manipulate it at all. Krang's teeth are painted, and it's actually softer. It's kind of like a mix between a rubbery material and a plastic. It's a little, you can budge it, but it's still solid enough that you can't, you know, completely squeeze it down. So it's definitely softer than the Playmates Krangs. And when I say Krangs, I mean the original line Krang, not the Krangs in the new Nickelodeon line, because those are very squishy. But soft back in here, and you can see it's kind of two parts, how they molded that together. So awesome piece. So set him aside. And then these are actually two axes, or axe 1 and axe 2. So these slide onto the hands, so the hands actually pop off, and you can put one of these each on the hands, and these are actually a little bit sharp too, so it's kind of cool. And they're painted nicely too. They have a little bit of red on them, so very nice. So we'll set those off to the side, and now let's take a look at the Android body. So it pops right out. And the figure's actually a lot heavier than I expected it to be, which obviously means it's a quality product and it's well made. So let me get a little bit of a better view. There we go. Alright, so the Android body. The Android body has articulation in the wrists and the elbows. We get a ball joint in the shoulder. I don't want to twist it too much, but it is there. These are actually metal, which is awesome. So that adds some weight to it and some quality to this product. The feet are metal. I don't know if you can hear that tinging. Feet are metal. Get articulation. Check this out. Get articulation in the toe area, the ankles, the knees, articulation in the hips, and we also have a ball joint in the hips too. It makes a little bit of a cracking sound, but it's not snapping, so it's just a little tight. So very nice. The individual fingers are articulated as well, and they're kind of like a rubbery material, so pretty cool stuff there. This actually I thought was metal at first, but I believe it's just mainly plastic. There could be some metal in there somewhere. I think maybe back in there could be, but it doesn't appear to feel like a metallic material. Well painted figure. We get the red here, some red there, just little details, red on the wrists. The only little complaint, and this is very, very minimal, are the pieces up here are not painted, but that, it doesn't take much away from this guy. He's awesome. So let's have a look at his backside. Oh, actually we get articulation in the head and neck area too. So, and these are kind of similar. I guess you could compare the material to the belts of the turtles. It's kind of that rubbery plastic that you can bend, and they connect in. I think you could probably take this guy apart if you wanted to, and I'll tell you why you might want to do that eventually. Obviously right now I don't see a need to, but I'll explain what I mean here in a bit. You can see the back side of the legs. Let's just get there we go, full view of the back side, side, and the front again. So I think I covered all the basic points of the Android body there. So let's get Krang inside of his Android body. And something very cool too that I didn't realize this until I read the directions or the packaging there, is that this guy actually has a magnet in him. So when you stick him inside of the Android body, he stays in place pretty good. So you can move him around and he's not gonna fall out. So that's a really cool little detail that they added in there. And as you can see, the screen for Krang there slides right down in. Very simple. So there's Krang inside of his Android body. I'll get a close up. So and something actually really cool about this. So if that's not cool enough looking, and the figure itself isn't cool enough for you, check this out. If you go to the back, there's a little button right up between the shoulder blades. You slide that button to the right. We turn Krang around. Yeah, he lights up. How cool was that? So Krang's Android body lights up, and it's a little bit hard to see just because of how the lighting is in general, but let me turn the lights up for a second and see if that gives a better view. Oh yeah. So that's just a great looking figure, and I'll kind of get a closer look. You can kind of see his face and mouth. So very awesome. Who does that? You don't really see many companies adding in stuff like that, at least in the turtle line. Just something fun, something different. So the LED light. So back to what I was saying about maybe taking this guy apart. Say your LED light burns out or your battery, whatever. Actually, I'm not too great with taking things apart and putting them back together. But whatever batteries in there, say your battery dies or the light itself, you want to replace the coloring or anything like that. I believe you could do that if you are good at that kind of thing. And you can see that he's a little bit, like you can kind of lift up a little bit right there, and his chest lifts up. So I think that you can get down in there if you need to change the light or anything like that. So make sure I get a better focus on him. He's kind of a little bit blurry. There we go. All right, so the next order of business, the axis. So we take his hands, and something nice too, the hands pop off, but they aren't extremely loose, which is nice because they don't just fall off just by touching them, because sometimes it's annoying whenever figures, that one's a little bit more loose, but it's not going to just fall off standing there. So you can see there's little ball joints there on each arm or each hand, and the axe goes right up in on that. Lift his arm up however you want, full rotation, and whoop. That one's actually not staying on right. There we go. I don't think I had it pushed down far enough. So back him up just a tad bit. Lift the camera up. And you can see that those fit on nicely and give Krang a cool appearance. Lighting's kind of poor in here. So yeah, so there's Krang in the Android body. And something else, I know some people want to know comparison shots and things like that. So I have a Classic Collections Raphael. So let's compare the sizes. So as you can see, Raphael fits very nicely next to this figure. So if you have the Classic Collection, they'll look great displayed next to Cerebral Krang. And it's very similar in size, I would say, as far as the length or the height goes, with the old Android body from the 87 series. So it goes pretty well with the 88's Playmates line too, which I will show you next. But I think that the Classic Collection looks really great next to him. And I only have Raphael out of the package. My other ones are still carded, and I just haven't gotten myself to open them yet. So tempting though, because I think they'd look awesome with next to Krang. So let's have a look at the 88 Playmates. So we'll pull out another turtle there. There's Leonardo, and we'll set him up as a little comparison. So there's what Leo from the 88, or just the 88s in general, look like next to this Krang. They also fit nicely because Krang's so big. He gets really big in the 87 cartoon, and so it kind of goes well with that line. And let's just have a look at these. Why not? They're popped off. So here's what I was telling you about earlier about the fingers, kind of each individually articulated, which is really cool. They're almost kind of creepy feeling. They almost feel like real fingers. So there's for the joint to pop in. So I hope you guys enjoyed this figure as much as I enjoy owning it. Like I said, don't let the price point scare you. If you have the extra money, it's totally worth it. It's unbelievable. It's such an amazing figure. I love it so much. Be sure to visit the whitefootsoldier.com. I'll probably be posting some pictures on there. I'll definitely be posting some pictures on Instagram and Twitter of this guy. Probably some comparison pictures, just some other pictures in general. So just search for the Whitefoot Soldier on both Twitter and Instagram. And I'll be doing a Toy Fair wrap-up as well, because there's so many amazing things out, or going to be out this year, that we saw at Toy Fair this year. So I'm going to be doing a wrap-up of Toy Fair, probably, I'd say maybe Tuesday or Wednesday of this week. So be on the lookout for that. And thank you guys so much for watching.